hoping it's far away. Never comes the day when I do.
I would like to make a quick disclaimer letting everyone know that I have no idea what I am doing or why I am doing it. My dudes, we are starting off with 2.5 pounds of plums, and I will begin washing them when I can manage to get off the stickers, which is anytime now. Anytime at all. You know, you just take your time. I'll sit down and wait. Great. So we're gonna wash these plums until they're nice and pretty, and shine them and scrub them until they shine as bright as my uncle's head. I know my nails are crusty. I know that they are dusty, okay? Seriously, if you know any cosmetologist who can help, my phone number is 407. Also, make sure to clean the
outside, yeah. Popping wood like lumberjack. Started good, had a heart attack. Gotta go see when I say goodbye. Do I got the juice or I did it right?
Wow. Here begins the start of my disaster, the elements of evil. It's really not that bad, just don't have high expectations, okay? This is how to make and destroy a plum galette. Okay, so logically, we're going to take these big plums and we're going to make them into smaller pieces so that they can go onto a pie-like structure. I guess you could say it's kind of like a deconstructed pie, but not as wrecked as a cobbler. Okay, so we have a problem. You can clearly see that the slices I'm making are not any similar in terms of size. In the recipe's defense, they did say how thick each slice should be. However, I am a rebel and I do not follow those rules. But really, I am just lazy and I do not have a food grade ruler. While ignoring our problems, we're going to make the dough. No, I did not grind up the almonds enough, and it will just provide more texture. I put some water in the freezer because you're supposed to be making a cold, flaky dough, right? So this went in the freezer, and it was just for a couple minutes, but it created a shell. I cut the butter into what I thought was small pieces, only to be proven wrong later as I tried to blend the butter into the dough to make it nice and flaky, and it just happens to take me forever and a day. Break the shell and hope that the water saves you from a lifelong sentence of mixing butter and flour. So anyway, pick out the almonds that were too stubborn to be minced into little pieces, mix it up, and you've got something that resembles dough. When you're in shambles, just add flour. At some point, I realized that I had put the ground almonds in with the dough mixture when it's in fact supposed to be with the sugar mixture that goes with the plums and not in the dough. But in reality, is it going to make a difference if I put it in the sugar mixture or in the dough mixture? I think not. In case you're wondering, this is what happens when you put ground almonds into the dough. You get chunky pieces. It'll just add texture, I suppose. So instead of doing another bang up job grinding up more almonds to make the sugar topping where it was supposed to go, I'm just adding some sugar and some flour to the leftover dough mixture that I could not mix into the dough for the life of me. Gently, gently spread it out. Make sure you treat it tenderly. Make sure it's beautiful. So we're gonna now take these plums and place them on the dough, like so.
Hoping it's far away. Never comes the day when I lose you.
Look what I kind of did. There's obviously no discrepancies in the sizes of the plums in relation to each other. Absolutely not. You can also see that halfway through I kind of gave up on trying to make it look pretty, but I really did do my best, and me placing these plums on top of the already figured out system is just me trying to use up the massive amounts of plums that I have left over.
Hoping it's far away. Never comes the day when I
Oh boy, doesn't that look great? For me, this is the moment of truth where it determines where I forgot to use flour underneath the silicone mat, because silicone mats are supposed to be magic and automatically not have anything stick to them no matter what, even if it's a very wet dough. My solution was, let's just do what we're supposed to and try to salvage as much of the rustic look as possible, and I'll just bake it this way and hopefully the butter will keep it from sticking when it's time for it to come out of the oven. I'm also taking the time to add some of the sugar mixture to the crust like the recipe asks me to, as well as a little bit more on top. Now we're taking my favorite thing to bite off hunks of as a child and chopping it off into little pieces, then placing it on top of the galette, I suppose to also help with caramelization.
Down, yeah. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? I'm down, yeah. No.
Now that we're sure it will be drowned in butter, pop it in the oven. Look at that!
Wow.
It came out of the oven and it's looking pretty cool. I put some raspberry jam on there with the seeds. It's not supposed to have seeds in it, but I like texture. Not too shabby, huh? It kind of seems like the raspberry jam would go on it before it bakes, but what do I know? It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look great. It kind of looks like something from a horror movie in the middle. I will say it's a decent attempt. And also, the crust was flaky. It was crumbly. I will say I was pretty proud of myself because this is the first time that I have made a pie-like thing in a very, 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 very long time. And it turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. Too bad this is a tragic story. Jesus, fix it. Jesus, fix it. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Please. Beautiful. Did you hear the joke about the plum? It was pitiful. Yikes. Okay, bye.